What's up, guys? M.V.K here, back again. Okay, first and foremost, I want to apologize for this because this is a long overdue review thought of for my movie reviews. Long overdue, but as always, guys, my movie reviews are no matter what. If it's a movie I haven't seen and I feel like talking about it, yeah, you're gonna see a movie review, even the current movies that are coming out. Now, if you follow me on Twitter and Facebook, then you saw that I had put up a post that I was going to see this movie. And this was probably one of the movies that everybody kept asking me about, like, oh, dude, like, did you see it? Oh, dude, did you see it? Did you see it? Did you see it? Chris, what did you think of this? What did you think of Doctor Strange? So I'm here to talk about that. If you don't mind, as always, what I like to do is show off my proof that I saw it, even though you guys should believe me. But here's my pay stub. Get a good look. Yeah, I paid $13 for that. 13.50 to be exact. 7.15. Um, it was. I went to go see it. And was it worth the 13.50? Yes, it was. Bottom line, let's get that right out the way. Did I like the movie? Did I like Marvel's 14th cinematic universe movie? Yes, I did. Very different. Very, 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 very different in all the ways. This was a true homage and just respect to Steve Ditko. That's pretty much what this was. Okay? I got the clear conscious vibe of this movie of like just the psychedelic vibe to it. This movie opens up so many doors now for Marvel in general and for the future. Now they just gotta have an architect to really branch this out. We got the supernatural mystic side of the Marvel universe now. So we definitely now have all four corners somewhat of the Marvel universe. Now, like I said, did I enjoy it? Yes, I did. It was shorter than I thought it was. I'll give you that, guys. I thought it would be a little bit longer. I saw this movie right after I got out of my job. I went right to the movie theaters right from there. I was like, okay, let me go see this now, because I've been so busy, guys, and I didn't hadn't had the time to go see this movie. And this movie's been out for what, over 3 4 weeks now, and I haven't had the time to go see it. But I did, and I finally, and better late than never, right? So as always, what I like to do is talk about the cast. Let me get that right out the way first. Okay, let's start off with the leading man, Mr. Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Stephen Strange. Did I enjoy him as Doctor Strange? Yes, I did. I'm not the how can I put it? I don't want to be rude or disrespectful, but I've never really watched a lot of Mr. Cumberbatch's work. I'm a huge Sherlock Holmes fan, but I've never watched him play Sherlock. Um, and the thing about it is, when I heard he was casted as Doctor Strange, I was happy for him, but he wasn't my choice. You understand? He wasn't my choice. Believe it or not, it was another fellow Brit that I would have loved to seen play Doctor Strange instead of uh, him, and that was none other than Tom Meissen, who plays Ichabod Crane on Sleepy Hollow. I thought he would have nailed Doctor Strange as well, but I did enjoy him as Doctor Strange. He had everything down to Strange's the arrogance, the mannerism. Um, this truly was just something to view, and he did a pretty good job at an American accent. I was like, wow, he's pretty good, because when you hear him talk, and then you hear him with his very British accent, and it's just like this guy seems really cool. And then, but you hear him, and they hear him this, and he was really good. I very much uh, enjoyed him as Doctor Strange. Um, uh, Chawel, Mr. Eccleford, who played Baron Mordo, always sells with his eyes. He sells with his eyes. His mannerism comes from his face. That's the key elements of a good actor. You know, just he sells with his eyes. And I like the route that they took with this version of Mordo. You know, they kind of took the whole uh they took the sinestro route of kind of with this Mortal. You know, he didn't start out bad, but you could see that the seeds throughout this movie, you could see the seeds were being planted, and boy were they being planted. Um, so I really enjoyed him definitely as Mortal. Um, then of course you had Miss Tilda Swinton as this version of the Ancient One. Now this is probably the biggest role that everybody was flipping out over, like, oh, you know, things like that. But once again, as much as I really wish they had have did something different, you know, and they could have made her female, but they could have had an Asian female. But I did like the fact that this version, the title of Ancient One is a title. It's passed down, and I enjoy that. But I liked what I saw from her. Man, she really, I enjoyed her when she got into the action scenes. I also liked her, like her kind of motherly vibe she had with her, her mystics. It was like she was stern, firm, kind of strict a little bit, but she also, you could see that she cared, and she did some things she did in this movie out of love for her babies, her cubs, her mystic cubs or something like that, basically. And I really enjoyed that of her. She really, and I've always thought Miss Swinton was always a she's always been a very well-rounded actress, excuse me, and everything I've seen her in, she's really on point. I've never really said, oh, she was stupid in that. You know, she's always been on point. Um, Rachel McAdams, I like her. I like Rachel McAdams, uh, but her character Christine was there and kind of not there. You know, she on a, I can't even say she was in like 10 scenes. You know, she was there, and I know what her purpose was her character, but you know, it could have been better. You know, I was just like, you know, okay, she's there. Didn't hate it, but it was like she's just there. Um, Mr. Benedict Wong, who played Wong. I like this version of Wong. He looked like a badass. Like, don't screw with this guy. Like, and I love throughout the whole movie, you know, it's just uh trying to get him to laugh, and you know, it's just hilarious, you know. But I liked his role in this. It felt different. It felt dated and not outdated of being the manservant, you know. And I've always had a lot of respect for Wong as a Doctor Strange fan myself, and who's read his comics over the years and still continue to read them. You know, it's like Wong is not the manservant. He's more like not even a sidekick. He's like Strange's partner. Uh, but yeah, pretty. He was good. I enjoyed him very much. You had Scott Atkins in this as a member of uh, Clasidius. I hope I'm saying his name right. Group, played by Matt Mickelson. Okay, now here we go. Uh, Matt Mickelson is a very, very talented actor, and no question about it. Will Clasidius be forgotten? Yeah, he would. He is. Uh, Still, that chink in the Marvel armor is the villains. But I don't necessarily think I'd call him a villain. You know, he's just a misguided drunk in a sense. Like he was misguided of power and things like that. But I'm not gonna say that when he was on scene, it wasn't like don't look, he's forget. No, he made a statement at times, and I enjoyed that. I was like, okay, but it's funny that Marvel went with this character Clycidius because I hope I'm saying the name right, guys, because my knowledge of the character is simple. He was a servant of Baron Mordo, that first appeared in Strange Tales, number what the hell, number was it 130, 131, 130, I believe. So he was not really not big enough character to like, but Marvel tried. They tried to get him over. So yeah, am I missing any cast members? Benjamin Bratt was in it, and he was in a couple of basically 1, 2 scenes, the least. Uh, it's okay, but the story really was that drove the story to me was the drama of Strange keeping it true to what he was. There's this brilliant neurosurgeon, but he's over the top brash and arrogant, and it was like there were times I'm not surprised nobody wanted to punch this guy because, and they very very much really played that up. So I kind of appreciate that. It's like,
Okay. Yeah, he's a dick at times, but he's brilliant at it. And I love the emphasis how I literally really love how they really went in depth into his accident. When he had his accident, I clearly was like, ooh, like I clearly with there was only about 15 people in the theater that I went to, and I was probably majority of the only person there that knew everything that was going on in that movie. And that's what you're gonna, because Doctor Strange is not really as big as a Spider-Man or or Iron Man or something like that. So it's new territory, and that's exactly what this felt like, new territory. And when he had his accident, it was just like, and they really put that emphasis on it. But still, the journey is really what I enjoy. Here, brash, arrogant man, and finding himself and trying to move past his arrogance. But also, the fact is, here he is learning, but also to defend, but still trying to keep that oath of why he became a doctor. And that was something I really enjoyed the most, is that he kept saying that over and over, doctor, doctor, like, because all doctors, and I think the medical board would have loved this movie, because as much as how much emphasis he put into that doctor, of that the Hippocratical oath. He took the oath to save a life, not to take it. And I love that. I thought that was brilliant. I was like, yes, brilliant, 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 brilliant. Um, the fighting was great. Marvel, thank you for putting martial arts in it. Thank you so much for that. Um, the the emphasis on how the spells are done, beautiful. I was loving that. Um, like I said, it just felt like classic trippy Steve Ditko vibe. Going through the multiverses and seeing the dark dimensions, seeing the mirror, mention. It was just like, this was visually, it was beautiful. It definitely was visually, and just seeing all that, the movements, you know, how he was zoom, 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 boom, and moving that around. Uh, I love how they explained the Agamotto. The cloak of levitation looked beautiful. I like that it kind of had a mind mind of its own. That was pretty interesting. Um, but overall, definitely, to me, it was good. I very much enjoyed it. It was different, and different is not always bad. It definitely felt way different from any of the movies, and I'm hoping that vibe continues with the other movies of into phase what's now we into phase three, right? Yeah, uh, and down the line, like, for example, Black Panther is coming. That should be different. Captain Marvel is coming, different. You know, and like I said, fight scenes was great. Um, there were some nitpicks. I'm not gonna lie, but the nitpicks were just minor stuff. I was just like, like I said, Rachel McAdams' character was kind of a nitpick for me. I was just like, I was like, man, I get it, but did she really need to be here? And don't get me wrong, I love Rachel McAdams, but it was just like, it was almost to the point. I'm looking at her and I'm just like, why couldn't you be Clea? That's all I was looking at. I was like, why couldn't you be Clea? Why couldn't you be Clea? Um, and speaking of the dark dimension, Clea, I just mentioned Clea, and she's a part of the dark dimension. Let's talk about Dormammu, because that was the biggest thing I did not want in this movie. I did not want Dormammu. I was like, I know he's probably one of the biggest named characters from Doctor Strange that people know. I felt like, okay, keep him kind of like Voldemort, like he we do not speak of. Like, you said that name, what? But when they showed him, I was like, whoa, okay, he looks different, but still kind of scary at the same time. And they kind of kept a little bit of his vibe to him, like he looked kind of like his classic look from the head and things like that. Thank you, Mr. Derrickson, for how you accomplished Strange, quote unquote, defeating him. That was genius. I love that. I thought that was well done. I was like, yes, thank you. Because what I did not want in this was Strange to pull, to all my wrestling fans out there, a John Cena and completely just wipe the floor. Or he musters up all his strength and he's able to defeat the Dark Lord himself, the Dark Dimension Lord, Dormammu. The way they did it, it was brilliant. It was genius, and I loved it. And it just makes you want, like, yeah, there's gonna be a time where it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back and bite you. And that was also the key of the continuing seeds that were being planted for Baron Mortal. What I also liked, um, and I liked it so much as I like once he said what he said at the end, I was like, and thus begins his road to being Baron Mortal. The Baron Mortal we all know. Because let's face it, you looking Baron Mortal back in the day, he was such a one-dimensional character, and it's just like, okay, this is what happened. Now he's bad. Da 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 da. This they went deeper and kind of explained, okay, his road to the dark side, and I enjoyed that very much. He felt more like a everything he was taught, and then he finds out is a lie, and it's just like, how do you come back from that? How do you come back from that? So I enjoyed that very much. And like I said, when he was using the Eye of Agamotto and using the time infinity, yeah, we basically, yes, excuse me, we now know where the time gem is, which I think we all knew it was going to be the Eye of Agamotto. So now we're missing one more, and I thought it was really, really genius. I thought it was good. The drama was there. The comedy was there too. Whenever it was meant to be funny, the whole audience laughed. Even I laughed. I was like, yeah, that was pretty funny. You know, it wasn't forced, in my opinion. It was there. But yeah, guys, I'm sorry about the late review, guys, and my thoughts on Doctor Strange. I enjoyed it very much. I give it out of 10. I'll give it a 7.5 Agamotto Eye of Agamotto's. I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it very much. Um, what else can I before I go? Oh, the end credit scenes. Him, the first one with Thor was great. It just felt like I was like I'm reading it's live action comics. And the second one, once again, like I said, the road to him becoming, just to the dark side, you know. Uh, but other than that, yeah, this was fun. This was fun. Did I mention it? Oh, Easter eggs, good ones, very good. Drum, yeah. For all those who don't know who Drum is, yeah, they just gave an Easter egg of another classic, famous mystic character in the Marvel universe. Yeah, so yeah, there was some good stuff in there, uh, and I loved it. I really did. Reason why, once again, because it was different. It felt different. This was way different, and I loved it. So, other than that, there you guys have it. Yes, I finally give my thoughts on Doctor Strange. I hope you guys enjoyed. I had a lot of fun talking about it. Looking forward to seeing Doctor Strange again. In terms of where he's going to be up next. And I wish nothing but the best for the rest of the cast. And Mr. Cumberbatch, I wish you nothing but the best in this role. Because it looks like you are really having a lot of fun with it. And you had your moment, as I heard you had. Uh, and you look great in the whole look. And the other thing I also want to mention before I go, because I've been running my mouth more than 20 minutes, is I like that. What I also like the fact is, this is a spoiler, that he did not become the Sorcerer Supreme right away. I thought that was great as well. And did I cry on this movie? Yes, guys, I actually shed tears. There's a scene in this movie. I think maybe people will understand where it came from. Is with the Ancient One and Strange, and it's a very touching scene. I actually felt my eyes watering on that one. I'll leave you guys with that. But other than that, guys, very much enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. I got some more movie reviews besides just the new movies coming out. I still got some movie reviews that I wanted to touch on because I finally got to sit down and watch some of the movies that I still haven't seen. Um, Next up, I know I want to go see that new the new Disney movie, Moana, Monada. I don't want to butcher the name. The movie with The Rock and playing Maui. There's Rogue One coming out. Yeah, I'm gonna see the Assassin's Creed movie, so definitely look for that. Um, and that it. Is that about it? I think that's about it of all the movies. Um, yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. Before next year, and we'll see more. But take care. Peace. My love. Stay tuned. Keep it real. I'm out of here.